Yo, it is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, we are going to be talking about defensive settings in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now, I try to make these videos a decent amount, right? To just keep you guys updated on what I personally do and what I have had success with, what I've, struggled with at times. And I'm going to give you guys some options that you guys can maybe try in addition to what I do. Now, before we dive any further into that, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please consider smashing the subscribe button as we are on the road to 90,000 subscribers. So here's the first thing. Now, we're in a play now game just so I don't have to waste any contracts. But it's going to be the same thing. No matter what coach you have, you're just going to go into defensive settings. I always put my on-ball pressure as smother. I think since 2K20 at least. I think 2K19 maybe I did as well, put it on smother. Some people have done tight before. I feel like for me, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like my guys get bumpy and up into them. Now the off-ball pressure, this is for next gen. We'll do current gen right after this, but this is for next gen only right now. Off-ball pressure, I put on tight. Now, what does that do? What does the off-ball pressure on tight do? Well, first of all, if it's on deny, I don't think you can double team. I think that's one of the things that is with it. If it's on deny, you can't double team. And tight, it just allows you so your guys aren't that far off. If it's on moderate, sometimes they'll be able to dodge you in the corner for open three, stuff like that. So I just like tight in general. It's not doing too much, but it's fine. It's fine in general. Now, what I do on ball screens is go over. That's just what I've done this year, since the start of the year. I think your choices are go over or your choices are auto. Those are your two choices, go over or auto. That's really it. Those are your only two options. Maybe auto is the meta for these. I don't necessarily know for sure. I just click go over. This is what I do and have success with. Now for your hedge, two options, catch hedge, that's what I do, or you can go no hedge. Those are your two options. I've noticed it more on current gen. I guess I've noticed it on next gen too. Sometimes when you do no hedge, like your defender just sits there. Like it's good because they don't hedge, but on the flip side of things, they literally sit there and they don't move. Like they're stuck in place with no hedge sometimes. So it's kind of what I do. Sometimes against some dudes, I'll do hard hedge. It's extremely rare. In general, I do catch hedge right now on next gen. Stay attached. This is a big setting. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in the last defensive video in general, is that your stay attached setting has to be on yes. If you're wondering why, if it's not, you'll literally switch every screen. And some people are okay with switching every screen. For me though, I'd rather just get through the screen, have my guards, guard the other guards, my post still on the post. Other than that, everything just stays the same. I put on no help for drive help. I mean, that's really as simple as it gets. So the no help, I would definitely put on no help. That's one that I don't think is negotiable. Off-ball pressure on next gen, I think tight is the meta. You can try doing some deny, but either tighter or deny is what you got to do. On-ball pressure, you can mess around with it. Really, honestly, that is what I'll tell you. You can mess around with it. I think smother is your best bet. I do go over, as well as catch hedge, and I do stay attached. But you can mess around with some of these settings, but the no help one, I think, is pretty set in stone. And if you guys just want my defensive settings, this is what they are. Smother, tight, go over, catch hedge, stay attached, and then no help. The only other defensive thing you want to do is make sure your adaptive coaching engine is off, and then the coaching sliders, your help defense is all the way off. On next gen, that's all there is to it. On current gen, it's a little bit different. The first thing you'll notice, and it's like this in my team too, although I'm not in my team right now, is the pause menus are just a little bit different. Now, is that a big deal? No. I forgot to say in the last one, you have to do matchups in defensive settings. So, I mean, if you have a guy like Andre Kirilenko and want to put him on ball, you can. It's not really defensive settings, though. Those are just matchups, and that's really all the same. Now, I will go over some stuff that is just in general. So, the first thing is, if you play a center like a DeAndre Jordan or like Andre Drummond, right? What I do is I put this on gap and I put it on gap. I do the same thing on next gen. That is not just current gen specific. That is for everything, okay? If you have a guy that cannot shoot, put those both on gap so you don't always have to be the one helping for them, okay? That is just for both current and next gen. I forgot to say that on next gen. So that's for everything, okay? If you want to do matchups, obviously you got your own section for them here. Here's the deal. Okay, on current gen, I go smother. The off-ball pressure is the most frustrating thing in the world to me. I think if you put on deny ball, you can't send double teams in general. And so that's part of the problem. If you don't send double teams at all, you're fine with doing deny on current gen. You're going to get back cut a lot though as well. So that's the problem with deny. The problem with tight right now is when players are in the corner. Let's say you get 5 outed. The guy at the top of the key, when he drives and gets to like the elbow, both your corners will drop. I don't think it used to be like that. That's how it was in pre-patch 1 last year. But that's how it is right now for off-ball pressure. So right now what I do is I put on deny. Do I think it'll get patched in which tight is the best setting within the next month or 2? Yes. I forwarded it to the people I know. Supposedly, hopefully it's something that gets fixed. So just mess around with that, right? Either deny or tight is fine. Tight is just a little glitched right now in how the corners drop. So I think deny is the best way to do it. Now on ball screen, I still do go over. Hedge is again interesting. I still just do catch hedge. You can try no hedge if you want to. That's something you can do. You can try hard hedging for some people. I just think with how my team is played right now, catch hedge and go over is probably the best way to do it. Now stay attached. On next gen, I click yes. On current gen, I don't click anything. Because on next gen, the reason you have to click yes is otherwise because every time they hit the screen, the guys switch. You guys probably noticed that in Triple Threat Online, other things like that. In current gen, it's not really an issue, so you can leave stay attached on automatic, and there's really not going to be any issues with that. I still do no help, and that is it. Now, again, these are my settings. I'm not even going to sit here and say these are the best settings in the game. I think I'm going to say that. They're the best settings for me in the game. You might have more success with tight than deny ball. You might have more success with no hedge and catch hedge. Heck, you might have more hedge, more success with soft hedge. I've just noticed as I have played NBA 2K20, 21, 22, defensive settings are things that are all subject to change. I can't just make one video at the start of the year that's going to work for the rest of the year because things change. Things happen. So if you are on current gen, these are the settings I would encourage you guys to try out. And if you are struggling, you know, with this, like let's say you're just getting blown by and you want to try moving this to moderate or tight, you can. But I think if you press or if you like getting bumpy into the ball, these are your best settings. With the deny ball, it's definitely tough with the back cuts on current gen. That's why hopefully eventually that gets changed to tight and hopefully 2K can get things figured out. But really, you guys might be wondering what are the differences in current gen and next gen. Well, deny bar to tight ball to tight is the first thing. Deny on current, tight on next gen. The only other difference really is this catch hedge setting or the stay attached setting. That's the only other difference in the defensive settings. Is it a big difference? No. Are you going to notice the difference? Absolutely. Another thing, make sure your coaching engine is off, and then turning off the help defense on both current and next gen. So defensive settings are not necessarily the most complex thing in the world. I'll say this. Don't just do mine and think, dang, I got the best defensive settings now. Do mine, test them out, see what you like with them, see what you don't like with them, and not only tell me what you like and dislike. Change your settings, be your own person, right? I'm not going to sit here and say everything I do is going to work the best for you guys. Find what works best for you, and if that's changing a setting, do it. What I would say is try not to change force direction. That's not going to work well for you. Try not to do too much, right? Some people that force direction, they just do too much and it just doesn't work the majority of the time. So don't do anything crazy. You can mess around with some of the stuff that I have showed you. Let me know what works for you. Let me know what doesn't work for you that I gave you. All those types of things. That is going to wrap it up for our video on defensive settings in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM today, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. Again, switching matchups is something, again, that's personal preference. If I have Gary Payton, I let him guard balls. Some people prefer Andre Kirilenko on ball. You can mix and match some stuff, but those are defensive settings that I have had success with, and hopefully you guys can have success with some of those defensive settings as well, incorporated into your squad. Let me know if you guys have good results, bad results down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.